Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my channel Learn Math with Syed Ali. So today we have another word problem which is called cross section of the museum. And question is, an architect designed the cross section of a museum using the quadratic relations y is equals to minus half times x minus 2 times x plus 10. Another one is y is equals to minus times, like minus 1 times x plus 4 and x minus 4. So third one is y is equals to minus 1.5 times x minus 2 times x minus 10, where y is the height of the in meters and x is the horizontal distance in meters from the middle of the building. What we have to do, the question is, I sketch the graph of the cross section of the museum. Sketch a graph for the cross section of the museum. And second is, how wide is the entire museum? C is, how tall is the each section? Since we read the problem and we have the concept of factored form of a parabola, so all three equations given are the factored form of the parabola. And we know that the negative sign is showing that parabola will be downward. So in all three equations, we can see that parabola is downwards, right? And when it is in the factor form, we can find out 2x intercepts. So we are just revising what we know, right? So the first equation, I will write first equation and try to write 2 intercepts, minus half x minus 2 x plus 10, and the 2 intercepts are x is equals to 2 and x is equals to minus 10. So now we have 2 coordinates of the parabola, which is 2, 0 and minus 10, 0. These are also called zeros, right? So we have 2 points of the parabola. Then we can locate the axis of symmetry by making the midpoint of these two lines, right? X is equals to 2 and x is equals to... So what is the midpoint of these two lines? Midpoint will be axis of symmetry. We know that. Midpoint. So midpoint will be 2 minus 10 divided by 2, which is equals to minus 8 divided by 2, which is equals to minus 4. That means this is our axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. And axis of symmetry also gives us x coordinate of the vertex. So always remember these things. So this is just the application what we have learned so far. So x coordinate is the... So x coordinate of the vertex is minus 4. X coordinate of vertex is minus 4. So now we have to find out the y coordinate of the vertex. How we can find out the y coordinate of the vertex, right? So substituting this value, x is equals to minus 4 into the equation, we can get the y coordinate. So we are substituting back into the equation, half x minus 2, that is minus 4 minus 2, minus 4 plus 10. So that will come out as minus half, minus 6, again 6. So y is equals to, minus times minus is plus, so the result will be plus. 6 times 6 is 36 divided by 2, which is 18. So we have got y is equals to 18. So my vertex coordinate are now clear. My vertex is minus 4 and 18. What else we need? Nothing. Because we can draw this parabola. We know that what is my 2 intercepts, what is my axis of symmetry, and what is my vertex. If I want to plot this parabola, I can plot. Right? So we will be plotting 3 equations on the same graph. On my board, it will be kind of rough graph, but you can draw it cleanly on the graph paper. So now what we know here is my 0, and this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. My first intercept is, what was that? 2, 0, right? So where is my 2, 0? Oh, 0. 2, 0, yeah. So where is my 2, 0? 1, 2. This is my 2, 0, right? And where is my minus 10 and 0? Minus 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my minus 10. This is my 2, 0. And this is my minus 10 and 0. And where is my axis of symmetry? Minus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So minus 4 is my axis of symmetry, right? This is my axis of symmetry. X is equals to minus 4. And what is my vertex? Minus 4 and 18. So minus 4 and I have to go 18 up, right? So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Maybe it's on here somewhere, right? So this is my 18. And my parabola come like this, right? So this is my axis of symmetry and this is my vertex. So I have two intercepts. I can draw the parabola if I know my two intercepts and my vertex together with axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry also gives us the x coordinate of the vertex. And when we have the x coordinate of the vertex, we substitute back into the equation to get y value of the vertex. Hope it is clear. Now we will solve the other equation, and that other equation will be similar. So what is my other equation? Other equation is y is equals to minus x plus 4 and x minus 4, right? So what are my two coordinates? X intercepts. X intercepts are x is equals to minus 4 and x is equals to 4, right? And then I have to find out. So I have 2 points, right? These are my two intercepts. What are that? 4 and 0 and minus 4 and 0. I can plot these 2 points to get my parabola curve, right? So if I have these 2 points, then I have to find out the midpoint. Why I have to find out the midpoint? To get my axis of symmetry. So midpoint of these two x-intercepts are minus 4 plus 4 divided by 2, which cancels, right? So it's 0. And when midpoint is 0, this is also my axis of symmetry. So my axis of symmetry is x is equals to 0. And x is equals to 0, we learned that it is nothing but the y-axis, right? So if x is 0 on the y, it's called y-axis. So that means for this particular graph, my axis of symmetry is this y-axis, right? So this is my y-axis. This is my x-axis. And we put the arrows as well, right? Because it is going unlimited. So now I know this, my axis of symmetry. That means my x is 0. How to get the y coordinate? This x coordinate, this is also x coordinate of my vertex. How to get y? Y is equals to minus, so put 0, 0 minus 4, and then I have, what I have? 4 times 4 is 16, right? But that will be positive because negative times negative is, so this is like this, right? So the y is equals to plus 16. So what is my vertex now? My vertex is 0 is my x coordinate of the vertex and my y coordinate of the vertex is this. So I have my vertex, right? So in each equation, we have to find out the two intercepts, axis of symmetry and vertex coordinate. Now I have vertex coordinate and two x-intercepts. So what is my first x-intercept? Minus 4, 0. Okay, minus 4 is here. So my first point will be here. And then the other one is 4, 0 and other is minus 4, 0. So this one is 4, 0, right? So 4, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is these are my two x-intercepts in blue, right? And then I have to have my axis of symmetry, which is this line, y-axis. So I have nothing to worry. And then I have my vertex 0 and 16. So I go up, it will be slightly less than the previous curve. If I suppose that this is my 18, then my 16 will be somewhere here, right? And I can join these 3 points to get my parabola curve, right? So this is my parabola. Since it is a rough graph, when you draw it on the real graph paper, it will be exact. You have no confusion about the curve. So this is my second curve. And now my third curve, third equation. So what is my third equation? My third equation is, let me take another pen. So yeah, y is equals to, what is my third equation? Y is equals to minus 1.5 times x minus 2, x minus 10. So what are the steps? We are repeating our steps. X intercepts. What are x intercepts? X minus 2 is equals to 0 and x minus 10 is equals to 0. These are my two x intercepts, right? So x is equals to 2 and x is equals to 10. These are my two x intercepts. And how can I put it in ordered pair? 2, 0 and 10, 0. 2, 0 and 10, 0, right? These are my two x intercept. What is next? Midpoint. What is midpoint? Midpoint is the of these two x intercepts, right? So midpoint is 2 plus 10 divided by 2. This is my midpoint, which is 5. So that means x is equals to 5 is my axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. X is equals to 5 is my axis of symmetry, and this is also my x coordinate of the vertex. Now what is missing is to find out y coordinate of the vertex. How to find out? Put this x is equals to 5 back into the equation here. So y is equals to minus 1.5, 5 minus 2, right? And next 5 minus 10, right? So x is equals to, oh, it's 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 divided by 2, sorry. So it is 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I have 6, right? Let me clean it so that it can write properly, is 6. So what I have to do, this midpoint is my axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is axis of symmetry, AOS, right? So my AOS is x is equals to 6. Now I have to find out the y coordinate, right? This is my x coordinate of the vertex as well. So how to find out the y coordinate? Substitute back into the equation. So I have minus 1.5, 6 minus 2, 6 minus 10, right? So this comes out 1.5 minus 6 minus 2 is 4, 6 minus 10 is minus 4, right? And then when we multiply it together, I get y is equals to 24. So what is my vertex? My vertex is x coordinate is 6 and y coordinate is 24. Y coordinate is 24. So my vertex is 6 and 24 in this case. So I have everything. I have two x intercepts or two zeros, right? So I have 2, 0, one coordinate, and then other coordinate is 10, 0, right? Other coordinate is 10, 0. These are my two intercepts. Then we get the midpoint. Midpoint is axis of symmetry and also the x coordinate of the vertex. You have to remember these three things only, right? So we will plot it with the red. So what is 2, 0? So 2, 0 is here. So my curve is on this. So this is also my red point beside the green point. And then 10, 0. So this was my, so I will count them. What was this point? This point was 4, right? So this was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here is another point, right? And then I have my axis of symmetry. What is my axis of symmetry? X is equals to 6. So I have to read it again. So my axis of symmetry is here. So this is my axis of symmetry, right? This is my axis of symmetry for the red curve. And what is my 6 and 24 is my vertex. 6 is the same axis of symmetry. So we will be on the same axis, but I have to go to 24. So 24 will be higher than 18, right? So it's somewhere here. So I will write my vertex here as 6 and 24, right? So I have to join these 3 points to get my curve. So again, when you draw it on the graph paper, you have no worries because this will be exact. But this is my rough graph, right? So I plotted two of the x-intercept, and I plot here two of the x-intercept and one of the vertex coordinate. So in each case, in each equation, we have to figure out our vertex and axis of symmetry. So here we have all the three curves of the structure, the cross section of the museum, right? So these are the three cross section graph, right? Sketch the graph of the cross section of the museum. Hope you understand all the steps. First step is to find out two x-intercepts. So this gives you 2 points on the parabola. Second step, find out the midpoint. Midpoint is also axis of symmetry of these two x-intercept. And this is also the x-coordinate of the vertex. So when you know the x-coordinate of the vertex, substitute back into the equation to get the y-coordinate of the vertex. And this vertex will tell you the other part. So how wide is the entire museum? How wide is the entire museum? You can see that this point is 10, 0, right? This point is 10, 0, and this is minus 10, 0. So what is this width altogether? This is your wide or width of the museum. What is the width of the museum? Minus 10 to 10. That means 20. So 20 is my width of the museum. This is your part B. On the parabola, you can see that it is 20 meters. And this is also given that this is the horizontal distance in meter. X is the horizontal distance in meter. So how far we have? We have minus 10 to 10, which is 20 meters. This is your part B. So your part B is 20 meters as on the graph. You can explain it that as on the graph we can see that this width comes out as minus 10 to 10, which is 20 meters. How tall is the each section of the museum? That is vertex. So we have the vertex number 1, which is minus 4 and 18. So first section is 18 tall, right? Second section is 16 tall. And the third section is 24 tall. So we have the y-coordinate of the vertex, and y-coordinate of the vertex is telling me how high each section is. So how high the second section is? 16. How high the third section is? 24. So these are my two. So you have to only explain it that the height of each section of the museum is the y-coordinate of the vertex, which are 18, 16, and 24. So these are the y-coordinate of the vertex. Hope you understand it thoroughly. You have to repeat it one more time. It's just a practice what we learned. This is quadratic equation in factored form. So we have to find out the two x-intercepts. After that, we have to find out the midpoint, which is also axis of symmetry, and the x-coordinate of the vertex. Then we substitute back this x value into y into the equation to get the y-coordinate of the vertex. And then we have all 3 points, 2 x-intercepts and 1 vertex with the axis of symmetry, and we can draw our parabola. Hope you like the video. If you like it, subscribe my channel, press the bell icon button to receive another video. Thank you for watching.